Okay, so let's dive into this. Everyone seems to be talking about Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, he's definitely the name on a lot of lips right now.
This incredible young talent, just lighting up the Bundesliga. And the source material we're looking at today, well, it specifically highlights that the big clubs, think Liverpool, for instance, are taking a really serious look.
It's completely understandable, isn't it, when a player performs at the level he has, especially, what is he, 22 now?
Yep, just 22.
Exactly. That kind of attention is, well, it's absolutely inevitable in modern football.
Absolutely. So the mission for this deep dive, really, is to dig into this article you've shared with us. Let's pull out the core reasons why Florian Wirtz is being called Germany's gem, you know?
Mm-hmm. Understand what makes him that potential difference maker for the top European teams.
Right, and really analyze the key characteristics the text highlights. What is it about him, according to this source, that makes the biggest names in the sport want him quite so much? So one of the first things that really strikes you in the article is that quote from Marco Neppi, right, the former Bayern Munich technical director. He calls Wirtz a different player.
Yeah, that's a strong way to put it.
So what does the source material tell us about how he's different from others?
Well, the article really emphasizes his status as already established among the world's very best, despite being so young.
Right.
It points to his role last season being the absolute fulcrum in the final third for that unbeaten Leverkusen side. You know, the one that finally ended Bayern's long, long dominance.
An amazing achievement.
And this season, well, the numbers are apparently even better. He's hit double figures for goals and crucially has the most assists from open play in the Bundesliga. 12 assists.
12 assists from open play is...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really significant number. The article also puts a lot of focus on his technical ability, doesn't it? Specifically highlighting his dribbling.
Oh, definitely. It notes he's completed the most dribbles in Germany.
And it describes this kind of unique ability he has to just glide by opponents without breaking stride. It sounds almost effortless when you read it like that.
Yes, that particular technical finesse is described as what sets him apart, making him special, in other words, according to the source. Neppi specifically mentioned the rare combination of skills he possesses, his willingness, and importantly, how brave he is on the pitch.
Brave, yeah.
The article sums up his skill set pretty bluntly as dangerous for every opponent.
Dangerous feels like an apt description. The source goes on to say he can change the momentum of a game just by having an idea nobody expects, and suddenly everything is different. He is a game changer.
That really captures it.
And it gives specific examples for matches. Yeah. Scoring a 100th-minute winner, contributing 2 goals and 1 assist in another game, and scoring 1 goal and assisting 3 against Freiburg.
That Freiburg game also had what the article calls perhaps his greatest goal yet, describing this blood-twisting solo run. And the detail that really underlines his technical quality there is his comfort moving at pace with both feet in tight situations. Even though he's naturally right-footed, he finished that incredible goal with his weaker left foot.
And, it makes all these achievements even more impressive when you remember the significant adversity he's had to overcome.
Absolutely.
Becoming the youngest player to score in the Bundesliga, only for that cruciate ligament injury to completely stop his progress at such a crucial time.
That point about the injury is so critical. The source highlights that Bayern Munich even considered signing him while he was injured.
Really?
While injured.
Yeah.
Which, as the article points out, is a huge show of faith. Not just in his ability to recover, but to ultimately fulfill that vast potential. The source suggests maybe Bayern saw a bit of an opportunity there.
Interesting.
But Wirtz chose to focus really intensely on his recovery, which the article says deeply highlighted his resilience.
And his return to the pitch was clearly a massive moment. The source recalls being at the stadium to see him score his first goal since coming back from that injury in the Europa League against Monaco.
Yeah.
Describes it as a deeply cathartic moment for him and for the club.
You can imagine. And Simon Rolfs, Leverkusen's sporting director, was clearly incredibly impressed with his comeback, even back then.
What did he say?
The article quotes him saying, really confidently, if English audiences didn't know about him before, you will do. This deep belief in his vast potential is why Leverkusen went to such lengths to get him from Cologne when he was only 17.
Right, even if it meant, as the source mentions, breaking that long-standing gentleman's agreement between the clubs not to poach academy players.
Yeah, a bit controversial maybe, but it shows how much they wanted him.
And Rudi Völler, who was Leverkusen's managing director then, was quoted saying ignoring the possibility of bringing Wirtz in would have been grossly negligent.
Wow, negligent.
That shows just how exceptionally highly he was rated by really experienced football people, even as a teenager.
And what's particularly fascinating in the source material isn't just the technical stuff, but the major emphasis it places on his mental attributes.
Oh, okay.
The article presents Wirtz choosing Leverkusen over potentially bigger clubs back then, partly because his family wanted him closer to home for his studies, as a clear reflection of his maturity.
Right, and having a very clear vision for how best to progress his career. Smart.
Rolfs expands on this point quite a bit in the article. He says, from the mental side, he is incredible. How he works, how ambitious he is, how stable he is emotionally. This side of him is amazing. He is just so focused.
Incredible praise. So focused.
Even as a teenager, just stepping into the senior team, the source notes his maturity made him stand out from his peers.
Really?
Rolfs considered him already. He is a leader of this team, inspiring the other players with his behavior. He is making the other players better around him.
Making others better around him. That specific idea is highlighted in the article as a definitive trait of a really top player, isn't it?
Exactly. That's a key sign.
And under Xabi Alonso, he clearly blossomed into the player who could consistently open things up when they were attacking.
Definitely. The source pulls out some really specific data points to illustrate how he does things differently on the pitch.
Like the layoff passes.
Yeah.
Saw that mentioned.
Yeah. Playing 45% more layoff passes than any other player in the Bundesliga, that's quite a stat.
It really is.
He's described as someone who kind of knits attacks, loves playing those short give-and-go passes, and is just constantly moving to find space.
Right. While the article notes players like Yakutuk or Kimmich might complete more passes overall in the final third, they're deeper playmakers, aren't they?
Exactly. Wirtz, operating higher up, is described as consistently, often trying the trickier stuff, specifically attempting the most through balls in the entire league.
And what's striking is that this high-impact creativity isn't, all he brings to the table. The source also highlights his defensive work rate.
Yeah, his pressing ability, too. It notes he has the most high turnovers in the Bundesliga and was 5th in the Champions League for that metric, despite playing fewer games than some others on that list.
So he works hard off the ball, too.
The source uses Rolfs, again, to sum him up pretty concisely as an excellent player, but also an excellent team player.
That covers both sides.
He has the ability to find those crucial spaces, score goals, get assists, accelerate the game, and importantly, can find solutions when attacking moves seem to be breaking down.
The comparison the source makes is with Jamal Musiala, isn't it? Identifying Wirtz as his only possible equal as the most exciting young player in Germany right now.
And crucially, both are described as having old heads on their shoulders, possessing that critical mentality that is needed not just to reach the top, but to ensure that they stay there consistently over time.
That's the real challenge, staying there.
Lothar Matthaus adds to this perspective in the article, specifically praising Wirtz's attitude. He notes that Wirtz, like Musiala, they just love it, meaning they genuinely love playing football and working hard at their game, which helps them make a good job.
That passion makes a difference.
He also points to the vital importance of having supportive family around them, mentioning Wirtz's father and Musiala's mother handling things off the pitch, allowing the players to just focus purely on the sport and their own improvement.
It really drives home the point from the source that his elite status isn't just about raw talent, is it?
Not at all. As Nepi is quoted saying, Germany can be really happy and proud to have two players like Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz.
And the club that eventually gets Wirtz.
Well, they'll be even happier, according to Nepi.
Okay, so shifting gears just a little bit then, the article does discuss the Liverpool interest we mentioned right at the top.
Right.
It calls this potential move intriguing, largely because the most likely, or maybe most obvious, vacancy in Liverpool's attack seems to be up front, but Wirtz, as we've discussed, tends to operate deeper.
Yeah, this is where the source explores the potential for tactical flexibility,
How so?
It suggests he could potentially be used as a false nine. It describes how this could work with wide players like, say, Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah cutting inside,
Uh,
and how it would actually lighten the significant creative load that's often placed solely on Salah.
right, effectively using his ability to fashion opportunities for others, just from a slightly different starting position. That makes sense.
The article also mentions the possibility of Arne Slot potentially using a 4-2-2-2 formation.
I saw that, where Wirtz is identified as a natural fit in one of those advanced midfield roles. It cited the game against Manchester City as a kind of reference point for that structure.
Yeah, exactly. And beyond those specific ideas, the source just says he could be deployed wider on the left flank
Oh.
or even integrated as part of a midfield three in games where Liverpool expect to dominate possession and really push forward consistently.
So quite a few options there.
The clear takeaway from the article on this point is simply that he possesses tactical versatility. And for a player this good, the source is pretty confident that coaches will absolutely be flexible, too, to accommodate his talent.
Coaches will find a way to fit him in, basically.
So much. Yep.
So this deep dive into the source material, it really gives us a comprehensive picture, doesn't it? Why Florian Wirtz is generating so much buzz and is so highly rated by those who've worked with him or watched him closely.
It really does.
We've seen how the article describes him as a fundamentally different player, a true game changer, with not just incredible technical skill, the dribbling, the ambidexterity in tight spots, those unique passing choices, but also this rare blend of bravery, resilience to overcome a major injury.
An immense mental strength, intense focus, and surprising leadership qualities, especially considering his age.
Exactly. The article does an excellent job of linking his on-field production directly to his off-field maturity and mindset.
Yeah, it highlights how he bounced back from that serious injury, the intentionality behind his career choices early on, and that positive attitude and relentless work ethic.
Reinforced by those supportive family structures the source mentions.
Right. These are presented as the foundational qualities that make him not just an exciting talent for the highlight reels, but someone the source identifies as having the potential to be genuinely elite, a transformative player for any top club he might join.
And as we discussed, even though there are those positional questions raised in the source regarding a perfect like-for-like fit at a club like Liverpool.
Yeah, the nuances.
The article's analysis strongly emphasizes his tactical flexibility across multiple roles. And it underlines that coaches are typically very willing to adapt their systems to integrate a player of his proven caliber and, well, his potential.
It truly seems to come down to that exceptional combination the source describes. World-class technical brilliance paired with an absolutely incredible mentality and work ethic.
Which leaves you with a fascinating thought to consider, really based purely on everything we've extracted from this source material today.
Okay.
When a young player possesses such a specific, rare blend of world-class technical skill and the kind of exceptional mental fortitude needed not just to reach the top, but to ensure that they stay there, as Matthaus discusses in the article, well, how much does initial tactical system fit even matter in the long run?
That's a great question. Or is that rare mental strength, that ability to consistently perform at the highest level over a sustained period, perhaps the ultimate most valuable prize that any club is actually seeking when they go after a player like this?